Hello, welcome back to Budgeting with Debbie. Hope you're having a wonderful start to the new year. Today we're going to do our debt story, our debt confession, whatever you want to call it. So, a little bit of story about me and my family. So, my name's Debbie, and then there's my husband and my daughter in our household. So, we're just a family of three, and we have a modest amount of debt. It's not a huge amount, to be fair. So back in December 2019, we had our never again moment where we really struggled to pay for Christmas, and our credit card was pretty much maxed out, store cards were maxed out, and we really struggled, and we were scrounging around, and we were like literally begging for the next payday to pay for our bills. And it was just really uncomfortable, not very nice feeling, and I didn't like it at all. So we decided with the New Year's resolutions that finances was one thing that we had to get our heads around. We earned too much money to be in this much of a mess, to be struggling to just do simple things in our life. So we decided to get on top of it. So I found people like the Budget Mom and Dave Ramsey and lots of other fantastic people on YouTube and Pinterest who gave us all these different modalities of getting out of debt. And then in 2020, the pandemic came along and kind of knocked us all for six. So we were doing well with our debt payoff. We were paying off above and beyond our minimums. And then, like I say, the pandemic hit, and I'm a nurse in intensive care, and it knocked me off my feet. It totally took me for. I didn't know what had hit me. My mental health took a battering. I was tired. I was exhausted. I couldn't go out. I couldn't do all the things that I normally do for my self-care, like watching my favourite sports team or going to the cinema or for an afternoon tea with my best friend, going for a coffee, going for a drink. Couldn't do all of that. We were locked down, we were at home, and we were having beautiful weather. And in England, that doesn't happen very often. So when I came home from work after being in PPE for 12 and a half hours, I needed air. I needed to be outside. I needed to feel the wind on my face. And my back garden was nowhere to get any sort of peace or respite. I was too tired to go out for a long walk. I just wanted to sit in my back garden with a cold gin and just decompress from the day. So after sitting down with my husband, we decided that we needed to sort our back garden out. The fence was damaged, so I was worried about the security of our garden, and I just wanted somewhere nice to sit, and it was just too big a job for us to manage. So we decided to pause our debt snowball and get some builders in and just completely landscape it, repatio it, returf it, deck it, sort it, make it nice, so I could come home and have said gin in the garden in a nice area to sit in. So that's what we did. We still kept paying our minimums on our debt snowball, but so our garden renovation, all with new plants and planters and things and all the other things you want to buy, it came to around £5,000. And so we cash flowed all that without taking on the extra debt. But for myself and my family, we felt that that was necessary for my mental health. And it was one of the best things that we could have done last year. So now that 2020 is done and we've got a big holiday coming, but that's all sorted, the money for that is sorted out. We've just got to pray and hope that we can get there now. So now we want to get the remainder of our debt gone. So this is why we're doing this video today. So we are setting ourselves a target of being debt-free, consumer debt-free that is, we still will have our mortgage, but we will be consumer debt-free hopefully by August. Now our stretch goal, one we're shooting for, it'd be lovely if we could be debt-free for my birthday in June. I'm not sure if we'll pull that off. I think that is wishful thinking, but August we should have everything gone. So let's go through what our debts are. So this tracker I printed off of the Budget Mom's website. It was a free download, and she must be psychic because we do have 4 debts. Obviously, if you've got multiple debts, you could print off more sheets. You can do whatever is easiest for you. And she's left the months blank, so you can start this whenever. So obviously it's January, we've just had Christmas and New Year, but if you're watching this video in the middle of June and you want to get started, you could start from wherever. Okay, so our first debt is my husband's phone handset. And the starting balance for that isn't very much, it's £192. Okay. And then the next debt we have is my phone handset. Now this is a debt that we took on because I needed a new phone. I'd not had a new phone in quite a long time, and I was quite adamant I wanted a new iPhone, so I got one. But I'd made myself take it out over a year, but I thought to myself, no, I want to pay it off sooner, so hopefully we'll have that paid off in the next couple of months. Our next debt is our boiler. And the total for this loan or finance agreement was £1,139.51. And our last but not least was our new sofa set, and that's £2,575.44. So I'm doing the debt snowball method. So this is where you start with your smallest debt up to your largest. There is also the debt avalanche, where you start off with the debt with the highest interest amount or the highest total and go to your smallest. I prefer the snowball method, and all of these are all 0% interest free, so that's not a factor for us. So we just want to knock them off smallest to largest, gaining that momentum along the way. So the boiler, this was a crazy, it should have been our never again moment, but we went for another year first. So back in 2018 our boiler went, and we couldn't finance a new boiler. It was only about £3,000, but we just did not have the money for it, so we took it out, some finance for it, and it was mortifying because at the time the only repayment plan we could afford was to take it out over 10 years. 10 years to pay off £3,000. That's just crazy. But at the time, that's all we could afford that month, was that £30 a month payment, which is a little bit mortifying now when I think back on it. But that's where we were. So we've overpaid on this last year already. We paid an extra 1,000 or 2,000 off of it. So we're nearly there. And then our sofa, we took that out at the end of 2019, and this was kind of like the straw that broke our back, really. We've paid about £75 a month minimum on this, so we should have about another 2 or 3 years left on this, but we're hoping, like I say, to have it all done by August. Now, some of my friends who I spoke to about this, they're like, it's 0% interest, why are you killing yourself? Why not just let it run its course? True, we could do that, but I want my money back. You know what I mean? I want to own everything, and I want my money back, because once these are gone, I'm essentially getting a pay rise. So the minimum payments for each of these each month, we're looking at probably 75, 100 and a bit, probably looking at about £220 a month just in minimum payments on these. So when they're all paid off, that's an extra £220 a month that we've got to do things with. So I want that money, thank you. I don't want to be just constantly giving it to somebody else. I'd rather just clear it, get it gone, done with. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. So like I say, we're starting off in January. I'll write the months in later. Each month I'm going to update this if you guys are interested in our journey, so you can see how we're going along. Hopefully next month this will be paid off by the end of January, and we'll have made a chunk into mine, and then we'll see how we go. So I'm going to flip over to our spreadsheet that we've got, just so that you can see how we plan to do this. So bear with me 1 second. So as you can see, in January we're hoping to pay off the rest of Chris's handset. So you may remember that it said 192, but that's not taking into account the minimum payment that will come out at the start of January, and then when we get paid at the end of the month, we'll put the other 163.50 to it, and then that will be gone. And then the rest of our snowball payment will be towards my phone handset. Then in February, we've got a little bit more to play with. So we've got the monthly payment that was Chris's handset. We've also got no council tax that month, plus our debt snowball to pay off the rest of my phone and to make a little extra bit payment towards the boiler. Bear in mind, we will still be paying our minimum payments in January and February on the boiler and the sofa. Then in March, again, we've got a bit of a bigger snowball because we'll have cleared my phone and we still don't have any council tax that month. So that will have a big impact on the boiler payment, and we're still making the minimum payment on the sofa. And then in April, we'll be able to clear the boiler and may pay a chunk towards the sofa. And then hopefully each month thereafter, we'll just chink away at that sofa payment. If I do any overtime and get any extra money in, we might be able to pay some extra bits off as well. I had some money in my coin jar that totted up to about 30 quid, so we might just chuck that at it as well. We'll see what we can do to try and chip at least a month off of that projected payment of August. Like I say, it would be absolutely beautiful to be debt free by my birthday, but that might be asking a little bit much. That's like finding an extra £700 over the next 5 months. I'm not sure that we'll be able to do that, but hey ho, if we put it out into the atmosphere, we might get there. And just imagine how fantastic my birthday and debt-free screen combined will be. I'm going to leave that now for today, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed the video today. Please like and subscribe the video. I'd like to build up my subscriber list and get the message out to more people and help more people. All the best. Take care. Bye.